Wrigley Field in their last game, and they had a long layoff, and so did we. And it's something that you always struggle with as a head coach, because you want to find the balance of keeping your team sharp and ready to play in the next game, and keeping that momentum, but you also want to give them a break. You got final exams, it's a long layoff, which is why I said this is so much like a game one, first game of the season, because there is such a long layoff. And you see special teams plays, you see the teams that maybe don't look sharp tackling and whatnot, and something that you're on guard with, and I thought both teams handled it well. I wouldn't say it was necessarily a challenge. Our guys were ready to play. They may not look pretty today out there, but we've had a good week. Our guys were excited about being down here. Handled their business the right way. We didn't have issues with curfew. We didn't have issues with poor practices. The people at the Renaissance SeaWorld, the head of security at the hotel, came to me yesterday on the elevator and said of all their years, this is the most respectful, enjoyable team they've ever had at that hotel, which I appreciate them saying that. We've got some awesome young men, and it was very important to win this 10th game, and that's why there's hurting in that locker room, and there's a lot of tears in that locker room right now as well. And you got guys that poured their heart and soul into this. You got guys like Kai Kroger and Tonka Hemingway, who just with them playing in this game today, no one in the history of South Carolina football has played in more games as a Gamecock than Kai Kroger and Tonka Hemingway. I mean, that's really freaking cool. And yes, I get it. We had a couple opt-outs, but you had guys that didn't want to be here, and they hurt right now. And as a head coach, I'll always look at how to be even better about making sure that we're, sharper and ready to play. It's similar to the schedule that we had in 2021 when we played North Carolina in the bowl game, and it's similar to the schedule that we had against Notre Dame 2 years ago. And we'll always look to see how we can do better.
All right, we'll take one now. Do we have any player questions? Okay, we'll take one next week.
Oh, okay. Shane, you kind of look into your post-game message to your team in the locker room, but from your perspective, what will this team be remembered for, and how have they laid the foundation for years to come to build on?
Yeah, I would hope they'd be remembered for the foundation they laid and the amazing moments that they created this season. There's a lot of people, if you look at those preseason projections, very few of them even had us in a bowl game in 2024. I may or may not have some of those saved on my phone as reminders, because there was a lot. Some of y'all as well. Some of the national media. There's one thought we were going to go 3-9. Somebody thought we were going 5-7. There weren't a lot of people picking us to be in a bowl game, much less the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. And guys like LaNorris, who was voted a permanent team captain by his teammates, and the rest of these guys said, that's BS. We got a heck of a team, and we're gonna go work our butts off and leave this program better than we left it after the 23 season. And since they've come back in January, they've been unbelievable. And I know everybody sees what we did the last 12 weeks or 13 games, but just the work that these guys put in from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, throughout the season. I just told them in the locker room to sit there and be 3-3 at one point in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And there was a lot of hurt and frustration in that locker room, because at that point we had 2 losses by a total of 5 points. The way that group came together, I hope that they would be remembered for that. That in life, adversity happens and adversity comes your way. And when we dealt with adversity at 3-3, no one in our program blinked. And we went off to run off 6 wins in a row like we did, and have a shot at the playoff going into the last weekend, and then to come down here and have an opportunity to win 10 games. I hope they be remembered for the great moments on the field, for a lot of the things that they accomplished this year for the first time ever at Carolina, and just what a special group of young men they are. Talked about it in our team meeting last night, the legacy that they left, and I said it in the locker room at Clemson after the game. I think it was on one of our social media accounts, but they're the example of what it's supposed to be as a student athlete in college athletics. This senior class, whether the guys that have been here since 2020 or the guys like D. Knight, Torricelli that came in here this year. It's a really special group of guys, and I'm going to miss the heck out of them.
All right, we'll take 2 for LaNorris, we'll take 1 from Live and 1 from Phil on the right.
Of course, it's been such a great season for you individually and as a team for the regular season, but this is how 2024 ends with those guys over there celebrating. describe what is this feeling like for you at this moment?
I mean, obviously, we want to win. Some things didn't work right tonight. We got to get back working and focus on next season.
LaNorris, over here on your right, I think, over here. Just kind of building off of that, knowing that you still have several years left in your career here at South Carolina, what kind of foundation does getting to this game and this experience of being in a game like this do for you as you continue to lead this program?
It just shows us what we can accomplish. Just a couple plays away from being in the playoffs the first season we had. So, I mean, we know what it takes now. We just got to put it all together.
All right. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate your time.
Thank you guys, and thanks